Okay, apparently I am live on Instagram and on YouTube. Okay, guys. All right, so check it out. Uh, First of all, sorry that I am like a couple minutes late because I decided to be all classy and schedule this YouTube live in advance. And then I realized I did not know how to start the YouTube live that I had scheduled in advance. So what I ended up having to do was Google, well, not Google it, YouTube it, I suppose, and figure out how to do it. Turning off my air conditioner because I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. Anyway, second live in 2 weeks. Oh my God, it's almost like I'm being responsible and shit. So anyway, I just wanted to say I'm going to be doing these every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be posting the main topic of the live. And I am also going to be asking for questions. So if you guys have any questions, like I said, just post them anywhere, I guess, on my social media. But whenever I announce the next live, you just go ahead and ask your questions, or you could come in live, which would be crazy. Anyway, so today I wanted to talk about how much fat you need on a ketogenic diet. Now, this is the difference between a practitioner of a ketogenic diet, of a low carb diet, and someone who read PubMed and just wants to go ahead and talk about what he's read. Okay. Because at the end of the day, you only have a couple of sources of energy in your body. Okay. The main usual source is carbohydrates because most people eat a lot of carbohydrates. Okay. So carbohydrates can certainly be used for energy. Fats can also be used for energy. They are broken down into ketone bodies through a process known as ketosis, and use the ketones instead of carbohydrates for energy. Okay, there is a third idea called gluconeogenesis, and basically what gluconeogenesis means is you turn your protein, whether that's protein you eat, like you eat a chicken breast and you have protein in your stomach, or you break down not just your muscles, but like your internal organs, okay, and you turn them into glucose, okay. Now, the thing is this, okay? First of all, forget about gluconeogenesis, okay? Because I like to describe gluconeogenesis as an energy source, as like saying you're propelling your car by putting it in neutral and waiting for a tailwind to blow you somewhere. Now, is that physically possible according to the laws of physics? Yes. I mean, if you're on a perfectly flat surface and your tires are inflated and you got the car in neutral and you get a really strong wind, yes, your car might be blown somewhere. Okay. But are you like going to jump in your car whenever you feel like it and just drive from New York to Los Angeles because the wind is blowing? It's not going to work. Okay. It ain't really going to work. Technically, it's kind of possible. It's not really going to work. Okay. So basically, if you don't eat carbs and if you don't eat fat, okay, you're not going to like have a problem with, I'm still on carbs because I'm eating protein. Okay. Because like I said, first of all, it just doesn't work. Okay. I'll get to that in a second. Second, first of all, it just doesn't work. But second, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and say like gluconeogenesis, if that really did work, then what you would do is you'd have people who eat like nothing but chicken breasts, like zero carbs, zero fat, just pure protein, and they'd be like running marathons and shit. Okay, but it doesn't happen. As a matter of fact, don't trust me. I always say, don't trust me. Look up yourself something called rabbit starvation. That is a concept I think originally came from the North American Native Indians, and what they talked about with rabbit starvation was if somebody eats rabbit meat, which apparently is very lean, if somebody eats just rabbit meat, they can eat so much that their stomachs are distended. They can eat so much rabbit meat that they're going to vomit and they'll still be starving. They'll have no energy. They'll eventually lose it and they will eventually die. It's called rabbit starvation because you need a source of energy, which is fat or carbohydrates. Okay. So like I said, don't worry about gluconeogenesis. Now, the only two other methods of of fueling our bodies are fat and carbs. And so many people talk about stuff like, well, you need like 99% of your diet to come from fat. Otherwise, you're not going to go into ketosis. And that is not true. Okay. The facts of the matter is ketosis is what keeps your body alive when you do not have carbohydrates to burn for energy. Okay. Ketosis keeps your body alive when you don't have carbohydrates for energy. You don't need 98,000% of your calories to come from fat. Otherwise, you're not going to go into ketosis, because as a matter of fact, if you fast, I'm not a big fan of fasting, but if you go on an extended fast, you are either going to die or you're going to burn fat for fuel. Okay. You will be in a state of ketosis if you don't eat a damn thing, because your body will be like, okay, no carbs. They burn off the carbs. No carbs are left. We have body fat to burn, or we could die. So I want you guys to kind of think about like the difference about going in ketosis, not because you eat a certain percentage of calories from fat, but because you do not eat a certain amount of carbs. You eat less than like 50 grams of carbs a day, or 30 grams of net carbs, which is total carbs minus fiber. You ain't got enough carbs to fuel your body. So you will either die or you will start burning fat for fuel in a process called ketosis. Okay. So, like I said, don't think about this thing about, oh my God, I need to eat so much fat, otherwise I'm not going to go into ketosis. It's not because you eat a lot of fat. It's because you don't eat any carbs. That's the reason why you go into ketosis. So now let's go ahead and let's talk about the problem with just eating huge amounts of fat when you're on a ketogenic diet. Okay. First of all, I've gotten fat on ketogenic diets. So people are like, well, as long as you don't eat carbs, you can't get fat. Yes, you can. I've proven it myself. Okay. And for the people who think steroids are everything, I've been on the same TRT dose for like, I started at 43. I'm 49 now. So, I mean, I've been on the same TRT dose. I lowered it recently. Okay. For the last 6 years. And guess what? If I fuck my diet up, I get fat. If I style my diet in, I get lean. Okay. So, like I said, it's not, oh my God, it's steroids, or oh my God, if you don't eat carbs, you can not eat carbs and you can still be fat. Okay. Because it does still play a role in terms of, calories in, calories out. But the problem is not just calories in, calories out, but the problem is if you go into a state of ketosis by cutting your carbs and you're in the fat that you eat and drink, then it is to liberate the fat stores from your body. Okay. I mean, think of it like this, like you're building a house and you have like this Connex somewhere and this shipping container with like wood packed in the back somewhere, and you have to kind of like dig through everything to find the wood. And then you have like a delivery of wood, like somebody just drops a pallet of wood right on down the driveway. Do you think the workers are going to go ahead and they're going to climb through the Connex, the shipping container, and look all the way through the back and unload all the bricks and everything to get some wood from the back? Or they're going to be like, hey, we got some wood right here on a pallet in the driveway. Let's just grab it and get going. Let's go to work. If you drink, coffee with a lot of heavy cream in it, or if you, like me, I drink like raw eggs with heavy cream mixed in it and stuff like that. If you eat like a lot of fat, okay, you're going to be burning the fat that you eat instead of the body fat. Okay. So at the end of the day, you need protein to fuel your body. Okay, like not to fuel your body, but like to replace everything from muscles to internal organs. Like, you have essential amino acids. You will die if you don't take in protein. You need fat for hormone production, just basically to live. You don't need carbs. Okay. If you don't eat carbs, you're going to go into ketosis. You're going to burn fat, whether it's food or body fat. But like I said, if you take in a lot of fat in your diet in terms of percentage of your caloric intake and your and just total calories, you're not going to be burning fat. So what I suggest people do is when you go on a ketogenic diet, you don't care about calories. You cut out the carbs, you start learning to drink more water, you start learning to take in fiber, you start learning to take in calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium, your electrolytes. Okay. and you take in as many calories as you want. Just make sure the carbs are as low as possible. Take in as many calories as you want because you want to get your body fat adapted. If you do this properly, you will not have a problem with the keto flu. You will completely skip the keto flu because the keto flu is basically your electrolytes are screwed up and your water intake is screwed up. It's basically like dehydration almost. Okay. So after you get your body used to burning fat for fuel, now you can start playing around with your calories. Now you can start playing around with your percentage of fat and protein calorie ketogenic diet because you don't have to be worried about gluconeogenesis. You will not turn all those chicken breasts into glucose and be burning sugar. So you first of all, you keep your protein high, and since you cannot um, and you keep your protein high, and since you don't have any carbs to cut, the only way to cut calories is to lower your fat. So this is going to do two things. First of all, it's going to put you in a caloric deficit, which means you're going to be losing fat either way, no matter what you eat. But also, because you're taking a lower percentage of your calories from fat, you're going to have less available fat to burn for fuel. So you're going to be burning more body fat. And that's the way that I get people to lose fat fast. Even if somebody wants to bulk or lean bulk, I start them on as just cut your carbs, get fat adapted. Once they're fat adapted, then I keep the protein high, drop the fat down low. They start losing fat because almost everybody has body fat to lose, even if you want to lean bulk. Okay. And then as your hunger increases, then I start to have you increase slowly your fat, which first of all, increasing your fat gives you more energy because fat's energy food when you're on a ketogenic diet. And second, like I said, you're increasing your calories as well. So that's basically the way I do it. I'll have somebody after they're fat adapted, I'll have them on my pure protein diet, which is not pure protein, like protein sparing modified fasting, the PSMF diet. It's not like that. Basically, get fat adapted, 10 calories per pound of goal body weight, about 70% of them coming from protein, about 30% of the calories coming from fat. Then you're going to start dropping weight. There's going to become a point where you need more calories, where you need more fat because you're just going to be hungry. You're going to lack energy. Your workout's going to suck. You might not be in the best mood, a little irritable. Fine. Increase the fat a little bit, therefore the calories. Goes for a while. You're going to be losing weight during this time. Then it starts to get to be too much. Increase it a little bit again. So basically, fat adaptation, keep the protein up, drop the calories, drop the fat. And then as you need it, increase the fat a little bit, increase the fat a little bit, increase the fat a little bit, increase the fat a little bit. Right now, I'm not on like a pure ketogenic diet, but I'm taking in 4,000 calories a day and I'm recomposing my body. I am burning fat at 4,000 calories a day. So you never know where you're going to end up with. Like I said, I've also done this without carbs on like pure ketogenic diets because there are so many things going on in your body. Like, how much fat do you have? If you have more body fat, you need fewer calories, you need less fat. How active are you? If you ramp up your physical activity, you need more energy, you need more calories. Okay. So like I said, Cliff Note version, basically get fat adapted, concentrate on water intake, fiber intake, electrolytes. Okay. As soon as you feel good on on fat with no carbs, go ahead and you drop your fat, which drops your calories while maintaining your protein. When it gets to be too much, you increase it a little bit. When it gets to be too much, you increase it a little bit. When it gets to be too much, you increase it a little bit. And like I said, this is especially good if you have a ton of fat to lose. Like I've had people, email me like, Bob, I'm morbidly obese. I need help figuring this shit out. If you're morbidly obese, you could stay on very low fat, very low calories for longer. Even if you want to like recompose your body, or if you want to lean bulk, I would still have you going down in fat, going down in calories, and slowly increasing it because, like I said, almost everybody has some body fat to lose. So anyway, that's how you find out your caloric intake, which is constantly going to be changing. That's how you find out how much fat you need, which is constantly going to be changing. And like I said, that's hopefully dispelling this myth about how you need to take in so much fat or you're not going to go into ketosis because, like I said, You go into ketosis because you have no carbs, not because you have a certain amount of fat that you're eating. And like I said, don't worry about this gluconeogenesis thing. If I eat too much protein, I'm suddenly going to be burning sugar. It's not going to happen. It don't work. Like I said, it's like driving from New York to LA with your car in neutral and hoping a tailwind will push you. I mean, does it kind of work? Yeah, technically your car might be moved if a strong wind blows, but is it really going to work? No, it's not. Okay. As a matter of fact, final word to rabbit starvation. What was that movie Into the Wild about the guy who didn't know anything about survival, but just ran off into the Alaskan wilderness and died? The people who found his body say he may have died of rabbit starvation because he was becoming erratic. They could tell by his tracks. They could tell by the way he set up his little campsite and stuff that he was like becoming erratic. He was just losing it. He was not thinking clearly. Why? Because if he's just eating, shoots a rabbit, eats a rabbit, protein, no fat, no carbs, eventually your brain ain't going to work no more. So, like I said, screw gluconeogenesis. That is the big bad wolf that never existed. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, put them down below. If you have any suggestions for the next live stream, put them down below. If you have any questions for the next live stream, put them down below. Aside from that, Bob here from ChristopherBobRoberts.com and BrotherhoodOfBeasts.com. I have an excellent deal for the Brotherhood of Beasts, which is my group coaching program. Okay, for the people who join in the next 2 weeks and for the people who join the next 4 weeks. So check out BrotherhoodOfBeasts.com if you're interested in my group coaching. Aside from that, thanks for watching. I will talk to you guys in the next video.